Hi there, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining us on Up North Live Unscripted at 6:30. I am Maya Engel, and gosh, what a beautiful day it's been across northern Michigan. Really another beautiful day. We are going on day 3 of sunny skies and really nice, comfortable temperatures. Not too hot, not too cold. I'm certainly a fan of this weather. And Joe, it sounds like this weather is going to continue for the rest of the week as well.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Miss Engel. Not at all. So yeah, it'll be some good weather coming up here. We're on our 3rd day. We'll get a 4th and probably a 5th day of dry weather coming up, and maybe a 6th, 7th, and 8th too.
Wow.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to warm up too, especially as we get into the weekend. It'll be a little warmer and a little bit more humid. I'll be back a little later with the main forecast, and we'll take a closer look at that. See you later.
Right. Looking forward to it, Joe. Thank you. We'll see you in a bit. Let's turn things over to our top story of the day. I'm sure if you live in northern Michigan, you have probably heard about Goshen's plan to build an electric vehicle battery plant in Mecosta County. And that's a plan that has been met with a lot of pushback. So today, that battle between the company trying to build the plant, Goshen, which is they're trying to build it in Green Charter Township, and the township and all of its residents who are against it, that battle was front and center today. Protesters on both sides of the issue squared off in opposite sides of the road. Our Audrey Boucher was there and brings us the full story.
Have our interests at heart. This is our chance to stand up and tell Washington, D.C., that apparently didn't listen to them very well, that we are not going to take a Chinese company with Chinese interests taking American jobs in our community.
That message from Republican Mike Rogers, who is running for U.S. Senate. He and Congressman John Molinar don't want Goshen to build in Michigan because of its Chinese ties. Others here have different reasons.
Pretty solid evidence that it would have a big environmental impact on the state, on our water system. We live in the Great Lakes area. It's beautiful. We don't want the contamination. I don't think they have this water supply to fully support the project that they're proposing.
But Goshen Inc.'s vice president paints a different picture. He says the company will conserve 90 acres of wetlands surrounding the factory, and the materials used do not pose any risks to the environment.
Well, the cathode active material is what we make here. It's lithium iron phosphate. And if you do have scrap in the process, it all gets recycled. So there's no disposal. Once you get to the full battery and those return batteries over end of life, you can recycle roughly 99.9% of those materials. People don't realize that. Far more recyclable than a lead acid battery.
Goshen is promising 2,300 jobs at the plant by the year 2033.
We need jobs, and we need to go into the future, not be caught up in the past. The other advantage about, besides jobs, is let's talk about the electric cars and battery technology. This is the future. This is where we're going. It's just like going from a horse and carriage to a gasoline car. Now we're going from gasoline cars to battery technology.
We should do everything we can to stop this. And remember, this benefits China. This isn't benefiting this community. I talked to a lot of the small and medium manufacturers in this area. The government is going to subsidize higher wages for a Chinese plant at their expense.
Despite the opposition, Thielen says Goshen is moving forward. Meanwhile, many expect this battle to continue, both through protests like this and in the courts. In Mecosta County, Audrey Boucher, Up North Live News.
And another story that we are working on today, very different from that one, so there's really no easy transition into it. But this one is pretty cool, pretty interesting. So an automated bus will be at Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore for 45 days, and the bus is there as a pilot program. So it's been tested elsewhere, this automated bus, but the company who builds the bus, they say that they want to test it out on more windy and bumpy roads, so why not go to Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore and the Pure Stocking Scenic Drive. So it's also an opportunity for people to take a ride along the drive in a pretty unique way. So our Cody Bear got to take a ride on the bus today and learn more about the test program.
Looks and functions much like any other bus you would see on the roads, but there's one big difference.
This is a quite unique experience and opportunity for many people.
This bus has no driver. it's autonomous. While there is a safety driver if needed, they also take a ride hands-free.
Public transportation is a growing problem, especially in North America. If you consider the population of the country is mostly it's becoming seniors, and there's a huge driver shortage in every area.
Jemre Cavasolo, the ADASTEC director, says that this project is a stepping stone to a larger goal.
These kind of public transportation solutions should be available and accessible for everyone. And we believe that this is only possible with automated public transportation buses.
The Sleeping Bear Dunes superintendent says that while this pilot is temporary, buses of this sort could be a big help for national parks and lake shores, like this one.
And every time we can take a car off the road and let a visitor have a more in-depth experience is really a benefit for the visiting public. 20 people on this bus, 21 people on this bus could in theory remove 4 cars from the road.
For now, Tucker says it's a chance for people to take advantage of a unique opportunity.
And I think it is a way to see that alternative technology and new technology is not a scary thing. And visitors in the last hour, as I rode on this bus, are seeing this drive through, and hopefully they're getting a new vision of what the future looks like.
And we are going to check in with Cody for more on the automated bus in a minute. But first, I want to pull up our question of the day because it is related to this story. So, would you feel comfortable riding in an automated bus at Sleeping Bear Dunes? A lot of people say, nope, not me. 83% say no. 17% say yes. You can scan the QR code on that screen right now to vote. And I'm going to bring in Cody right now, but I'll keep our question of the day up so you can still vote if you haven't yet. So Cody, thanks so much for joining us on Unscripted and making your 6:30 Unscripted debut today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and kind of talk about this a little bit.
It's a very interesting story and it looked pretty cool. So how was it riding on the automated bus today?
Yeah, it was good. Honestly, you couldn't tell much of a difference between the automated bus and a regular bus. Sure, sometimes the stops may be a little bit, more abrupt.
Hey, Maya, real quick. It's his first time on Unscripted. He's got this.
I know he does. He's doing great. Oh, Joe.
Love it. But overall, there's really not a big difference. It took the curves well, and it was smooth. It was much smoother than I thought. I look at the poll and I kind of thought the same thing. Like, oh, it's a little scary. It wasn't. It was nice. It was fun.
So does it go around the entire scenic drive? Because I know there are, 17 stops or something like that?
Yeah, right now it's about a 30-minute trip. So they'll stop at just a couple outlooks or stops, and then they'll kind of circle back. They're not going all the way around just yet. Every now and then, they'll do one where they'll stop at the outlook for a decent amount of time and let people really kind of enjoy it, go out and look as if they were with their car. So they're not going all the way around, just a couple stops, but it's about a 30 to 45-minute experience.
And this is a pilot program, so come the end of the program, are they going to decide to keep it longer, or will it just end?
So right now, this is just a tester for ADASTEC. They were invited to come and test here. So after those 45 days, it'll end. So if you're looking to do it, make sure you make some time within those 45 days. But it's something that, I talked to Scott Tucker, the superintendent at the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lake Shore, and it's something that they're open to. They like the idea of having it here, and if it's ever feasible, they would love to do it in the future. But right now, it's just kind of to test for the bus more than anything else.
Mm-hmm. And how can people get a ride on the bus?
Yeah, so we will have information on our website at UpNorthLive.com, and what you can do is we'll have a link that'll take you to the ADASTEC website, and on there, it's very easy. It'll have a whole bunch of blocks for the day and the time that you want to go and ride the bus, and it's pretty flexible. There's 4 times during the day that you can go and ride, one in the morning, the rest in the afternoon, evening, and you just go on there on their website, lock yourself in, and you're good to go. It's completely free. You don't have to pay, so you can just go and do it and kind of get an idea of what it is.
Yeah, so you kind of mentioned this earlier, Cody, but for the people who say no, they would not feel comfortable riding an automated bus, what would you tell them to kind of maybe get them to at least consider it?
So the biggest thing that when people see an automated bus and they hear no driver, they probably think, okay, so what happens if something goes wrong? There is a safety driver there. That driver's seat, there is a driver's seat, and there is someone sitting in it right now, especially during the pilot program. Adastic said eventually that might be able to change, but right now, while they're testing, there's someone in that seat. So if it went too fast or began taking curves too fast and they got worried about it, which on my ride, there's no worries, but if there is a worry, there is a safety driver. So if you want an idea of what it's like to be in an automated bus, but you're a little worried what happens if something goes off the rails, there's a driver there to make sure that doesn't happen.
That is comforting to know that. And how fast does it go, do you think?
So right now they have it set at 15 miles per hour. Eventually they might go to 20. It can go up to a pretty high speed. At the dunes, they're keeping it at that speed limit. Right now it's under. They'll look at putting it at 20 as time goes on and they continue testing. But it does a really good job of not, you put in the speed limit and it does not go above it. It'll go near it, but it really doesn't go too fast. But it does reach around that where exactly they want it. So right now it's 15 miles per hour. Eventually it'll be 20. But there's no worries about, you're going on a straightaway for 5 miles per hour. All of a sudden it kicks up to 30. It'll be right at that 15 to 20.
Gotcha. And then are there buses like this at other national parks or lakeshores, or is this kind of the first one?
So there's a small handful. Right now they're putting them in just a couple. I think there's 2 or 3 right now. So it is a very small handful. It's not the first one, but these buses are kind of getting the ideas of each terrain and trying to go to unique ones. And they found this one to be a unique one. So they put one here.
Cool. Well, Cody, is there anything else that you want to say about your time on the automated bus or anything like that?
Yeah, something really cool about this bus is I mentioned in the story that it's hands-free. Well, it's also foot-free. There's no worries, like the safety driver isn't using the pedals. And something really, really cool about it is constantly adapting and learning to its terrain like a human being would. So how it's taking the terrain right now is not necessarily how it would drive it later on. It gets used to the stop. So I kind of mentioned sometimes the stops are a little more abrupt. They say that in the future, when it learns this drive more, it won't be as abrupt because it will see that stop sign coming more because it learns and it remembers. And I thought that was really, really interesting is the bus is actively adapting and learning like a human would for these drives.
That is very interesting. And I will say, before I saw your story and talked to you, I probably also maybe would have voted no on this because the idea is a little scary. But after seeing your story and talking with you, I would definitely want to at least try it out.
Yeah, it's a unique opportunity and nothing to worry about.
Yeah. All right, Cody, thank you so much for joining us on Unscripted. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And I will keep the QR code back up on the screen for a few minutes, looking at some of our comments on our Facebook post with this question. Again, of course, 82% of people are saying no. So a lot of people on the comments are saying no. But one comment that is pretty interesting, and Cody did kind of mention this in his story, but Dave says, yep, pretty cool. Great way to decrease vehicle traffic at pure stocking. So that is a very good point. And a lot of the other comments are, no, I'd rather have a driver. Yuck, no way. Let's see, Amber says, pretty sure we witnessed this yesterday. It was being filmed, and it was indeed being filmed again today by our reporter, Cody. All right, we're going to take a short break here on Up North Live Unscripted, but when we come back in just a few minutes, we'll check back in with our meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix. He'll have much more on your forecast. Stay with us. Welcome back to Unscripted, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us on this lovely Wednesday evening. Let's bring our meteorologist, Joe, back in. And Joe, the weather's been pretty nice all week. It sounds like it's going to stay nice the rest of the week. So when will we see some maybe rainy or cloudy conditions?
Well, I think Friday, at least a little bit of an increase in clouds, Maya. And there's, okay, let's put it this way. The chance for rain Friday is not 0, but it's also 5%. So
okay. So it's possible.
I'll take that. It's possible, right? Let's start off. Yeah, I have to do this, not you. Let me hit the button here. There we go. There's our hot shot, by the way.
Ooh.
Just for fun, I'll show you that. You ever see one of those, Maya, the walking stick?
Yeah.
We have them on the building here sometimes in the fall.
Yeah, they're hard to see because they look just like sticks.
Yeah. But then they start walking and, it's just...
Yeah. A good way to tell apart from a stick.
Right. Petoskey, let's head there. 67, nice evening, sunshine. As we look north out over Little Traverse Bay in the distance, if you look real close there, a couple sailboats still out enjoying the nice weather out there this evening. Pleasant. National picture, well, there's a look at that. Again, our weather is very, very quiet, but if you look up in the northeast, we do have some rain from New York State to Maine. And then down in the deep south, that area where you see the orange and the pinks there in Texas, those are heat advisories and warnings, and then a lot of rain and thunderstorms as the monsoon gets going. That's the time the desert Southwest gets their rain. It's right now, late summer, across Arizona into parts of Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, seeing some of that. Our weather is pleasant. So look down in Texas. That's why they have those heat advisories. San Antonio, high today, 106. Meanwhile, back up in the Midwest, look at Chicago, even St. Louis, it's only 75. Normally, this is a pretty warm time of the year, but it's very pleasant back in our neck of the woods. It's going to stay that way, too, for a while. High pressure sits right there over near Milwaukee, the center of this, and it's in no hurry to move along. It's been over us for a couple days, so that will ensure that we continue to see dry weather, including tonight. There's tomorrow as we look ahead. Future radar clouds, dry weather for Thursday. Tomorrow night. Now, I mentioned that chance for some clouds coming in on Friday. There's a weak front that's going to wash out as it gets here. So you'll see on radar Friday morning some rain approaching. I don't know how much, if any of that is actually going to make it to northern Michigan later Friday, but it's just enough. I put a few showers in the forecast, or a couple spotty showers Friday night, early Saturday. That's it. And then we're back to pleasant and dry weather. Couple quick events going on. We have balloons over Bel Air Friday and Saturday. Look at that. 77 and 84. And then we have the National Coho Salmon Festival. That's in Honor in Benzie County. Boy, you couldn't pick much perfect weather for that. Extended forecast, here it is. And again, very little rain. I penciled in a couple spotty showers on Friday. We do have a warm-up, though. Look at some spots Sunday and Monday near 90 degrees, and the humidity is going to return. So I don't think we're going to look at record heat, but it is going to be a pretty warm end to the weekend, early start to next week, Maya, as we look ahead there.
All right, Joe, thank you so much for that. We are going to take another quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll check back in with Sports Director Harrison Beebe and his countdown to kickoff. This time he is in Grayling. That right after the break.
Sports is sponsored by Ebel's General Store.
Grayling is our latest stop on the countdown to kickoff as we touch base with one of the most consistent and competitive football programs here in Northern Michigan in the Vikings. That'll include another loaded schedule in the NMFC Legends Division with the likes of Kingsley, St. Francis, and Boyne City, all with a tough conference schedule on the likes of Clare, Hudsonville, Unity Christian, and Escanaba for out of conference. So for head coach Eric Tunney, he gets the most out of his team in the regular season and later in the playoffs when they have those tough battles every week. And he knows a core group of seniors are what he can rely on to get these Vikings where they want to be.
It's experience, and that's the greatest teacher, both with kids and coaches. Like, you just learn how to handle things better, handle adversity better, and you try to instill that to the kids. Like, hey, the year we made our run, we were 1-3 to start the season. You know, like, that can't affect the way you prepare or the way you play, because you can still do great things. So just teaching them that, hey, football's going to throw you adversity, life's going to throw you adversity, and you got to be prepared and be able to handle that. You'll never block 100%, you'll never make 100% of tackles, throw 100%, but you can't let play one affect play two, and if they can get that down, then we'll have a shot.
Most of us have been on varsity for 3 years now, or like all the seniors have, so I think that has prepared us to be able to play well this season and go far, and hopefully we go and play well in playoffs. That'd be nice.
I've worked hard for my senior year. Feel like it's my time to shine, you know, and I'm excited to be the big dog, be the leader, you know. I'm happy and I'm ready.
Grayling will begin the year 1 week from Thursday on the road at Clare.
Our question of the day is, would you feel comfortable riding in an automated bus at Sleeping Bear Dunes? 81% of voters say no, 19% say yes. Now, for those of you who say no, I would just encourage you to go to our website, UpNorthLive.com, and watch Cody Bear. He's one of our new reporters. Watch his story on this. He went on the bus today and he talked with the company behind the bus. He talked with Sleeping Bear Dunes park rangers. And I know for me, it made me feel a lot more comfortable wanting to ride in a bus like this. So if you haven't seen that story yet, go ahead and go to our website to check it out. And you can also find a link there to register to ride the bus at Sleeping Bear Dunes. But that'll do it today for Up North Live Unscripted at 6:30. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight at 11 o'clock.